There is a greater feeling among the Indians to get away with a Chinese product, especially after the incident of June 15, martyring 20 of our brave soldiers on a line of actual control by PLA. As a true nationalist Indian, I also looked at how I can support my soldiers and country. That inspired me to look at my daily life. Before I start acting on anything, I wanted to be sure if what I am doing is right and impactful. So I searched my home and made a list of things which are not in made in India. Obviously, two of top three mobile sets we use at home had a tag of made in China, that is MIC. Even on my shoe racks, two sets of sneakers flashing the same tag MIC. Now it's my turn to go to my kids' room. Of course, as expected, 80% of the toys we purchased, gifted them in last 10 years had a MIC print. In a way, even our child's happiness was outsourced to China. That was good enough for me to take a closer look at what other things I have and what I can do. Now I am turning back to the kitchen. Here too I have few things either originated from China or Chinese components in it. Things like refrigerator, washing machine, TV too have electronic components that have MIC print on them. Believe me, this is not only at my home, it is not different in your home as well. As a startup entrepreneur, I go to office using cabs. I have two choices, Uber or Ola. I am a bit inclined towards Ola as it's an Indian startup and they made it to $1 billion club recently and competing with Uber, a global player. While traveling on a cab, my curious mind could not be idle. I looked at the shareholdings of Ola. I was taken a bit back to see that there were two investors. Tencent Holding and Steadwave Capitals had a decent stake, which both are from China. So even Ola is not Indian anymore. When I reached my office, a huge Lenovo desktop screen was waiting to welcome me, which I know where it is come from. So by now I saw at least two-thirds of our daily life products come from a one country. Okay, not a good thing to be in, but it's okay. We are living in a global village. I consoled myself. So what? फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. I can still do something. After a quick meeting with two of my colleagues, we thought of grabbing a cup of coffee and went to cafeteria. While we were waiting for our turn to be served, I just looked around. Almost every hand was flaunting with Oppo, Vivo, or Xiaomi phones. It is not a secret anymore, 70% of the mobile market is coming from one country. I know it is not different from your office or even in America. These days, we don't use much of cash due to COVID 19. Again, you know where it comes from. I paid them through Paytm and returned to my cabin. After a little while, I started Googling about Paytm. I know Paytm is a proud Indian startup started in 2010 by Vijay Sharma. Today, it is one of the major players who helped India to go digital. I wanted to check again who invested in it. To shock of my life, there is a staring headline in Google: Chinese major Alibaba has taken a 40% stake in it. So, in true sense, it is no more an Indian company. Oof, this was too much for me. I could not believe Chinese had access to my wallet for years without my knowledge. It is time for lunch. I order my food through online. We have two great startup players delivering food to our doorsteps. Both are doing really good. Again, Swiggy has raised funding from Tencent Holding and Zomato from Alibaba. Both you know where they are from. I thought of listening to music to soothe my mind. As always, I switched on Hangama and little bit of Ghana as well. These two great Indian startup apps with millions of users. It's amazing. I truly admire them. After getting to know that even Paytm was not completely Indian, I started researching about these two music players' funding source as well. As expected, here too the footprints of China were glaring at me. Hangama got investment from Xiaomi and Ghana had investment from Tencent Holding, a gaming company which also owns a major share in Dream 11 and PUBG, both are very popular in India. China is everywhere, not only on our border. They are in our bedroom, kitchen, kids, office, cab, food, music, and even reached our wallet. Now, now that we know how deep rooted they are, the larger question is, how do we deal with that? Is it even possible to live without Chinese product? The answer is yes, why not? Anything is possible if we 130 crore people unite and challenge. No challenge is big enough. Then question is where to start. In this globalized world, no country is independent of other. America is not different or the European Union. Especially we cannot avoid China at this point of time. However, it is also not a great idea to completely get away China for many geopolitical reasons. We need to take them on strategically at different level. To have a greater impact, we need to understand their game plan. China plays game at different level. If you look at closely, there are three layers in which you will see China's footprint. At first level, made in China products. Products are made in China, exported all over the world, including India. The second layer is made by Chinese companies, profit goes to them, components are Chinese, they may not produce in China, they may produce in locally. The third thing is strategic investment in startups and strategic companies. Out of 30, 18 unicorns of Indian startups have been funded varied degree by Chinese companies. 4 plus billions have been invested on startups and they are very aggressive. If we don't check this, there will be a bigger problem. Experts say China not only a global factory, it is also invests huge money on global media and politics. That's the reason why you always see in every country some politicians and media leaning towards them. So, finally, what is the solution? Only few soldiers or a prime minister cannot take this. We all need to join our hands. There are things to do at different level. At government level and military, they are doing their best. Already 59 apps have gone. A true atmanirbar can happen when we produce to reduce. What we are importing today should be exported tomorrow. That should be our vision for next 6 years. Industry level, they have to really produce. Media level, they need to be vocal to local. They just cannot pump up our patriotism on a prime time and sell Chinese phone the same time. There should be a discount for local products promo. Wholesale and distributors level, they need to change their profit margin for a while. Finally, consumers are the king. Change our casual attitude towards local products. We need to change first. Start with cleaning up our mobile in next 10 days. Clean up our home in next year. Clean up our mindset. Finally, they would have entered our bedroom, kitchen, food, music, even wallet, but they have not yet entered our heart. Remember, they cannot beat 130 crore people as long as फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. जय हिंद.